Korean show called S-Line, and guys, we'll discuss this, but a few disclaimers. This show deals with some dark subjects, mature topics, and sensitive issues, so please consider that before watching this video. Let's get into it. You can read, this is the explanation of what an S-Line means, so we'll dive into this subject. The red line that you can see it in the TV is basically seen by our protagonist, Hyun-Gyu. She can see these red lines from her childhood, and honestly, in her childhood, she couldn't figure out that why she's seeing those lines and what is the meaning of those lines. But as she grew up, she began to understand that what these lines means and how are they affecting her and the other people around her. So with this superpower, it comes a very big disparity that you can see lies in human beings very early in life, and she can detect these kind of lies, and she grew up naturally understanding the meaning of these lines and how sensitive they are because people are lying about these things. So this is a sci-fi, superhuman, supernatural kind of a show, so I hope you consider that. So we dive deeper into the psychology of someone who had this special ability to see these red lines, and she has a childhood trauma, as we can all expect, that her family is broken, like her father is killed by her mother, and that's how she is very, very traumatized, and her mother is also missing. And she knew something in her childhood that her father had an affair with her aunt. So this was all kind of a messed up things that started from her childhood. As she grew up, she began to understand how these lines are so dangerous that it could get people killed. So she tried to take her life multiple times, but because of her this supernatural power, she has something in herself which doesn't allow her to get killed. Like there is something that is binding her. There is something bigger and better for her to do with this ability, and her mission on earth is not accomplished yet. So that's why she cannot die, even if she tried to kill herself. Her personality is very closeted, like she doesn't have social outings, she doesn't allow anyone to be in touch with her, she lives alone, she has an alone life. Now the second character we are introduced is to her neighbor. They do very kind to her, in communication, but these kinds of actions have continued their interaction, I think. Okay, meet the next character. I don't know his name. We are gonna call him Mr. Detective. And he is a detective basically in an agency, and he has a partner as well. And right now we are just getting introduced to his character. Also, he has a niece. So we are gonna talk about that later on.
그 고등학생 조카? 요새 고딩은 상전인데?
나 상전이지. 너 어쩌냐? 나밖에 없는데.
그럼 한 형사님 결혼하면 어떡해요?
결혼?
So he's just not a believer in marriages, and yeah. So now we are entering the Mr. Detective's niece's school. This is her school where she studies, and the girl you're seeing on screen, she believes her a lot for money, for extortion of money. And I think I've realized something. This bullying culture is really prevalent in Korea or maybe Southeast Asia. I don't think it's prevalent in South Asia. Like there is bullying, but there is not like this physical, kind of bullying. But yes, so this is very, very prevalent in a lot of shows of Korea I've seen. So yeah, it's not nice. Like, why are you bullying her? What's the point? For money? But why is she gonna get you money? I don't understand. This is the first murder suspected case they are solving together, and it's about this lady who lives in a home and everything else is clean, and they are trying to find some evidences in the crime scene. As they look deeper into this, the detective found a packaging of a restaurant which is not so common to the locals, and that raised some speculation. Also, there's a guy detected in a CCTV footage wearing a helmet. Now they are just investigating the case about the family members, maybe her mother, maybe her family, maybe her brother, or maybe someone she was dating. Who could it be? Who could have killed her like that? That's the whole plot. Now we come back to the girl. You can see the red lines, and she's just watching the news of the same murder case, and she saw something. Look at the picture very intently. Can you see something different?
혼자 사는 30대 여성이 살해된 것으로 보고 혼자 사는
수백 개의 S라인을 가진 사람도 있기 힘들지만 단 한 개의 S라인을 가진 사람도 눈에 띄지 않는 건 아니다. 더군다나 살인사건 현장에서 뭔가를 엿들으려고 하는 사람이라면.
She called the police and informed her about something, and this information is gonna get to the detective. So she noticed it, and she is now very alert with everything, and she hears something from her neighborhood house. So she noticed it's the same girl who gave her fruits and things, whose house the helmet guy is at right now. So it's a very clear depiction of how it looks to her in her eyes, like the S lines, the red lines. And she's traumatized, of course, like from her childhood, from her family, and also with this kind of power she has, which is so weird because what if you don't want to see? You don't want to know this about any individual, but you have to now because it's something like a normal activity for your brain or for your existence. As the niece is absent from school, the bully girl has found some personal stuff on our niece. So yeah. Now as Sona is absent from school, she's at home and she's asking her uncle for the money, the detective. And he noticed that there are some bruises of the fight on her face and her body. And he asked her, why is it for? So now the information from police reached out to him and he's now going into the house of the S-line girl. But he also lives in the same building, like they have homes across. And she noticed the S-lines and they were uncountable. So this guy gives information to him that she's not gonna come out because she keeps herself locked up. Yep, she said something but then she retraced from it like it was a mistake and it was her fault, it was a misunderstanding, she tried to brush it off. She's just searching for money at this point to give to her bully. Now about the murder case, they found a photo of someone who was her ex, the person who died. So they are trying to now identify, and here is the photo. And guys, the point. He's the same guy the detective met upstairs telling her about the house and about the girl not coming up, locking up. So he's him. Now he has to move away from the investigation for a little bit because his father is in a caregiver center and he's not doing well, like he is going through some psychological mental issues. So yeah. So now the detective who found out the photos has been sent alone to, investigate about the ex. Let's see. As soon as he called the main detective, this guy showed up from behind. Same guy, right? And he's trying to kill him. Lot of breaking glasses and just, fighting sequence. The detective rushed his car to the apartment. This helmet guy is a psycho because now he's going to the neighbor's house of the girl. She saw it and she's like, now I have to step out of my comfort zone and save the girl. Honestly, she's a lot traumatized from her mom and family and past and the S lines she sees. It's just difficult for her, but yet she tries her best. And it's him entering the girl's house. And one very interesting thing to note is that he can see S lines. Like the girl can see S lines, but he can also see S lines. And he's going crazy because of seeing her S line. She comes to the rescue. She tries her best, honestly. Also, she's stabbed, but it doesn't affect her because she cannot get killed. Our detective has also reached this chaos spot. And he goes to the house of the girl because now the door is wide open now. So now as he's at the girl's house, he can see all three of them from the window and he shoot the guy. And now she suspects that the murderer that came along, he could also see the S lines just like her. The niece is here and it is discovered now that they went to the same school. Then she stopped going to the school. Now our S-line girl. So yeah. Like Suna doesn't really get along with his uncle. Like she is a bit of like a annoyed kid. And of course, yeah, she's been bullied. Like what are you expecting? And she told something about the S-line girl that when she was little, her mom killed her dad and ran away. We don't know the inside, but that's how we know. That's how much we know right now. Now she's thinking that can she really save someone? Can her superpower be used for something different? I mean, this scene clears it up that why it's like a psychological, horrifying kind of theme of this show. Okay, so now she gets a message from someone and she has to go to school again after being so long trapped into her house. She's the class teacher of Sona's class, I think. So these are the three characters we are introduced to. Homeroom teacher, this guy, and her friend. Sona is back at school again. So the show deals with some sensitive subjects, intimate connections right off the start. And also the S-line girl and Sona are now face to face as they have to come back to school again. I'm not gonna make it evident, but notice something, guys. So now Hyunhoo is at school, the S-line girl, of course. And here is the bully who took some information, personal information of Sona, that she might like a guy and she's just bullying her because of that. And they got into a fight again. Like, this bullying shit, I don't understand. Like, how can you hit someone like that? Here the class teacher and Sona are having a conversation and she is just really upset about everything. And she found these glasses in her locker when she was leaving for home. So now the detective has to prepare some report, and for that he has to go to the place of the person he shot. So he went there. And there was something weird that he encountered which confirms our speculation. He saw this red line sketch and it's clear that the guy can see the S lines. And now it's pretty evident that the glasses are the reason for the appearance of red lines. So Sona can also see the red lines, and oh my gosh, guys, this guy. Honestly, I am shocked too. Like, it's disgusting. Ew. But anyways, he's a character. You can like him or hate him. And now we are trying to dive deeper into the experience of when a normal human being is able to see something so deep, dark and secretive to every single stranger or every single person on a street, their colleagues, their family. How much it can get traumatizing or how much it can change your personality, because now you have a leverage over that person and now you feel that you have superior, things on them. Oh my god, guys, like, the character is something else. Like, he's disgusting. And now you can see the look of her attitude, like, she's changed. You can tell that she feels that everybody's owe her something because now she knows people's secret. And one of the secrets that her class teacher, she discovers that her class teacher has not been in a relationship because there is no S line on her head. So yeah. And she was casually seeing her colleagues these kind of secrets, and she's been exposed to something that is beneficial for her, like on her character level. The bully person also has a S line that is attached to someone from the school, and the person is none other than their language teacher. It's disgusting, and I hate to say that, but few humans are disgusting, like in our society, in the real world too. They are, apparently. So it's just a reflection of them. So now our Hyunhoo has entered the class. Please everybody welcome her like everybody did in the class. And by the scene, I think it's trying to get established that he is curious about her. Let's keep it to curious at this point. Our detective visited the school and yep, he met the classroom teacher of Sona and they discussed a few things about Sona, about her bullying issue, and also he's here related to the murder case that happened. So he was investigating something and he asked about the glasses and she said she hasn't seen him wear one. Yep. Now again, the bullying. I don't get it. Why would you bully someone? But now Sona is a little bit confident because she knows a secret that, is pretty intense. And now we get some insight into the friendship of Sona and Hyunhoo. Like, when she was bullying, here our S-line girl just showed up and protected her friend, like a brave friend and a good friend. So yeah, she really cares about her. Okay, now he's leaving in an interesting scene to establish these two together, or his liking towards her or something like that. Now he's coming and investigating even more. Like, he went into some place where I think the murderer goes into, and he asked some questions, and the person in charge told that he got into fights because he was being weird and was constantly counting something. And yes, you clicked it right in your mind. He was, I think, counting the red lines. He could saw using that, specs. Okay, now Sona is going for it. Like, she is trying to blackmail the bully by clicking their picture and just, going after their location and things like that. And she sent the picture to her and she replied like, she's a minor. The teacher is gonna get punished for this. So she got an idea. We'll know later. Okay, so there's a teacher group sitting in a staff room, and here one teacher asked the classroom teacher that, if she had a student who was interested in her, and this guy said that's a sexual harassment, please, remember his face. And yep, they had this kind of discussion, and the language teacher who is in a relationship with that kid, bully kid, just lied. What can he do? And he got a text. Prepare 20 million won in cash from Sona, of course, and she is now blackmailing him. Yep. They had a discussion about Hyunhyu's mother, that if she was alive, she would have probably contacted her. And now the teacher feels really threatened, and he's now being very, very oblivious to the student, the bully student. So, yep. Now that's that. And now the evidences of his more affairs surfaced on his book. Like somebody put it, I don't think it was Sona, but let's see. And now they are just distressed because they are being blackmailed for the things that they are doing, the filthy things that they are doing. And you remember Sona liked the guy? He is that guy. And I don't know, maybe they're together now. Yep, the S-line girl detected. She's smart. Like, she's really smart. She detected that there is something wrong with Sona. She is seeing the S-lines, and they both exchange their secrets that, she can see it from birth. She don't need no glasses. She can see it with her bare eyes, and, she told him about the glasses. So, yeah. And she's just scared because the murderer also saw S-lines. So, I think it's something evil related to the specs. Here's an interesting discussion between them that to erase the S-lines, does the other person have to die so that the S-line of both of them are erased? Kids these days. But they didn't do anything. They just, they were on a date, and yeah, nothing more than that. It was a cute date. But we have a problem. Somebody overheard the conversation in the washroom when Hyunhyu and Sona were talking. Guess who it is? It's the bully girl. And now the specs are missing because the bully girl took it. And Sona called Hyunhyu that the glasses are missing, so she would be reaching school, I think. Yep, here is the devil. And now she is also seeing the S-lines. The teacher asked Sona to come on to the roof to make a settlement because he kind of knew that who the hell was it who was blackmailing him. So yeah, they are having a conversation. And now somebody sent his wife a text of him cheating with a high schooler. Like, oh my god, disgusting, sir. Hyunhyu is here, and terrible thing happens. Like, yep, she got thrown off the roof. We don't know who threw her. I don't know if it was the language teacher. I know it's the simplest guess, like the teacher pushed her, but hey, you never know. It's a supernatural story. So the detective uncle reached. Yep. And you can tell that she cared about Sona a lot. And she's just really, really upset. Now everybody got to know, and the school is in the highlight because it's become a suicide case and not a murder case, which is obviously difficult. Now we come on to the story of the guy who said that sexual harassment in the staff room. I hope you remember him, as I said. And he went to her sister's house, and he has just called off her wedding because of some reason. I don't know why, but he has called off the wedding, and now he is at her sister's house, and he's probably leaving for abroad in a few weeks. So till then he's here. It was a nice shot. Like, the placements, the story, very nice. It's her friend. Actually, she's now friends with him and her friend. So yeah, these three people are friends together. The teacher who was at his sister's house is at school now for lectures, and she found these glasses and gave it to him because she thought it was his. And again, he was able to see the red lines. Every time the character comes on screen with these red lines, I'm like, brother, what? And yeah, they discussed about Sona and her, and the investigation begins. He found this picture on her phone, the guy who was on date with her. And he was pretty honest about everything. Like, he wanted to take things to further, but they didn't because she refused, and they just had a good time at that point. And he did mention that she freaked out when she found out that something was missing, and now the detective is going to check the CCTV footage. And he saw that someone took her bag and took glasses and put the bag there. We come back to the teacher who's living with her sister, and they have a daughter. And yes, again, a normal human being experiencing how red lines look like for the first time, like all of us. And now he told the reason that why he broke up, because she cheated on him with his friend. Humans are gross. Also, he's in lift with his brother-in-law, and he sees that there is a S-line connecting to him and someone in the building. He didn't get to see who at this point, but speculations began. Our detective is feeling very helpless because people are trying to brush it off like a suicide case, but it is a murder case. He's sure of that. Okay, now he comes to school, the brother who was staying at her sister's, and yep, he saw S-lines again, and homeroom teacher doesn't have any. He got his excuse. There is some package for someone from other building, and he just identifies it and goes for it. They also have a family trauma. Their father cheated on their mother, and whenever his fiancée comes in front of him, he reminds him of his father. So yeah, trauma. Okay, so now the teacher, Sona, was blackmailing. He also killed himself by suicide because he couldn't take the shame and guilt because the news was out to everyone. Actions have consequences. Established. These three have nice friendship and he likes her. The detective and Sona meets, and yeah, they are just discussing that the glasses are really dangerous because every single murder case is at this point related to them. Okay, so now as the brother identifies that there is a girl that his brother-in-law is in relationship with, he is just very, very cautious now. Like, he is following them, stalking them, and just trying to resolve the situation at his level. And he just caught them red-handed, like, yep. And he's now leaving, and he is positive that maybe the brother-in-law is gonna make things better and everything is gonna be resolved in their family. And yeah, he just leave his glasses, I think. It's the reference of like, his job is done. And he got an information from the social media as he stalked the other lady that his brother-in-law was meeting, and she's now having a pregnancy. And he identifies her on social media and tried to budge into that, and now he's super furious and he ran back home. The sister is going crazy and she's just smacking the car on the other girl's car. I think she found out, and now the brother and sister met. Very unusual reaction, like he comes and he goes to the other girl first in front of her brother and everything. The biggest plot twist until now. The other girl was not the mistress. His sister was the mistress. Like, he was the lady's husband and she was having an affair with him. Yep, crazy world we live in. That's crazy. The detective went to Sona's place to find some evidences of, what her past life looked like in the days before her, jumping from the roof or thrown off from the roof. And it's the red lines, it's the freaking red lines. So now Hyunhoo applies for a job because she wants a job and she's gonna work at a hotel. Okay, so now the confrontation time. The detective finally gets to know about the S lines and the glasses and what happens. And yeah, I don't think he believes her too much, but clean in front of him, telling him in front of him everything. She's having a trauma relapse, like she's just, very worried about Sonas and everybody who has these kind of classes. New character introduction. She's also a teacher staff or some school staff, and she also has these classes and she wants to be an actor. And yeah. Okay, so this is the hotel where Hyun-Hyo is applying for the job, and I think the teacher that we saw owns the hotel, or maybe is some relative to the hotel's owner, so she can come by. She comes by. Her friends visited her to the work. Cute. These three don't have S-lines as of now. Nice. You were good kids. And now the want to pursue acting girl is here, and she just goes into a hotel, into a very specific room that is 205, and she just lays down and just practice few lines again and again and again and again and again and again. Like, oh my god, we are witnessing psychopathic characters, guys. And it's such a creepy visual when you have these glasses and when you can see the whole world with S lines like that. I mean, wow, pretty intense. The detective and Hyun-Hyo are in the hospital, and he just asked her that how many S lines, or if any S lines, Sona have. And after a little bit of time, she told him that she has a S line, but it's not connecting to anybody in school. Like, she don't know. So they are just contemplating into the chances of maybe the guy who Sona has S lines with could have pushed her. Another interesting revelation to them, that is it possible to have more than one pair of glasses, which is true because we are seeing multiple characters having glasses at the same time. When I tell you she is psychopathic, she is, you know. She has this guy who she has a crush on, and she just sees that he also has S-line to a different person, and she just it's an imagination, guys, that what if they both have S lines connected to each other. It's an imagination because it's just all in her head. These two get along, and the other friend is absent today, so of course, you know, they goes into a swimming area and something like that for hangout or something, and she just jumped into the pool and she just feels free. Like, you know, imagine being so traumatized your whole life and the trauma is your life. You feel free with such, you know, naturic moments like water, mountains, and you know, nature just makes you feel alive. And yeah, they have conversations. She tells him about that she can see weird things from the time she was born, and he believes it. Like, they are kind of good for each other. Okay, this scene, you know, is like, he is probably curious about the classroom teacher and is still thinking about her because he's not being busy for a few days. So yeah, this woman is crazy, guys. When I tell you she's crazy, she is. Believe me. Like, watch the show or see it yourself. Okay, she now can see, of course, with the glasses, S lines, and she just peeks into the another room that is 206. Like, she always have a 205 room, so she peeks into 206 and saw that the man she has a crush on is, you know, sleeping with someone else, and she is now like, I would do anything. She plots. The next day, she kidnapped the girl, and in the girl's clothes, she went into the room and just killed him apparently, and just was so weird. I mean, she killed him, she killed herself. She is a psychopathic character, and the way she killed herself by stapler, like she was pinning herself through and through face on bodies, like she has stapler pins. I mean, she's crazy. Like, that was traumatizing to watch. As Hyun-Hyo works in the hotel, she comes for the rescue. She hears the scream of the woman kidnapped, and she comes by and sees everybody in this weird, like, killed. Like, she just saw both of them killed. Oh my god, enough of trauma for the girl, man. Now the detective has to investigate this murder case as well, where the suspect is dead. And the sole reason was obsession. Crazy, weird obsession with someone having to connect S-line with her. The glasses makes people go crazy. It's so established, like it changes you as a person. You get so possessive about these S-lines that you want it to a specific person. You going crazy about other people. Oh my god. And now the detectives goes into the crime scene again and found these glasses, and now is the big reveal. he can see the red lines too. Now he is the victim. Like, he is in the process of being a victim of these glasses because these glasses are evil. And basically, it's the past story of how Sona's family members died, and it was his responsibility to take care of her. And yeah, he also identifies that Sona has one S line. Yeah. And that's his discovering the glasses effect, and he's just kind of confirming it that, you know, his other detective partner has a wife, and he had a, you know, partner in college before her wife. So he has had 2 S lines. So he was telling now for investigation, he checks if he's the guy Sona has an S line with, because yeah, he was there on the date with her, but it doesn't get connected. So yeah. It's Hyun-Hyo's birthday and the trio is trying to meet up and have a party, and she gets weird message on her birthday, every birthday, from an unknown number. Yeah, you are invited to a birthday party, and that's just another sensitive case. She is in their classes, like Hyun-Hyo's and Sona class. She's their classmate, and she filed for a sexual assault case on someone who she went to idol trainees with. And yeah, when asked if she has any sexual experiences before this assault, she said no, which makes our detective into thinking that she's lying about this and she's making the case up. So now they have come to school to investigate this case, and yeah, he met the class teacher again. He identifies that she don't have an S line, and they talked about Sona and her trying to visit hospital, and you know, just small talks. Here is our suspect for the case of the classmate, and he is just being like, nothing has happened between us and there is no proof, no evidence, and I am telling the truth, and yeah, it's just cross statements. Hyun-Hyo finds out that detective is wearing glasses despite her being extremely cautious about these glasses. Despite her telling how dangerous they are, he still wore it, and now she wants it back, but he's not returning it, and you know, he's going to become a victim of it. And yeah, she's correct. The classroom teacher interrupted their conversation, and he just asked her if she wants to have a dinner with him, but then brushes it off like he'll call her later. And they just went in, and she has a weird expression, like. Now this seems a little weird because it's not established why are we seeing red lines, because nobody's wearing the glasses and not Hyun-Hyo is here. But I don't know, maybe homeroom teacher can also see this. I don't know. Of course, it's true, these kind of cases are really intense because they are minors and it's a very sensitive case. Okay, some texts are revealed from their conversation, and it is like Gina was the one, like the classmate was the one who initiated the hangout with him, and he's also here for the interrogation, and it's about how her clothes were washed and there was no evidence from a week, and now 1 week later she has come and filed about this case. We don't know what to believe yet. And the detective's suspicion is very much solidified because he didn't see any S-line connected to both of them. Like the suspect and the victim, S-lines were not connected, and it was just his way for his thought of solid proof. Hyun-Hyo and the detective met, and they are like discussing their cases, that maybe the glasses can help people out, and how detective is positive that he can help someone. But he discussed that there is no S-line between the two, so I think somebody is lying. But then Hyun-Hyo makes it clear that there was no S-line on Gina's head, and now there are 4 S-lines. I don't like where this is going. I really don't like where this is going. Detective's brains start braining, and he went to the suspect's home again to recheck everything, and everything was super clean, super tidy. And Hyun-Hyo also went back into the hotel where the crime scene has happened, and she just wants to investigate or see if there is something she can find out. And is it somebody's, whole plan going on? What is going on? She just wants to identify. And she found his friend over here. I think they both like each other. So as you can see, the S line connecting in a little shadow, but I think it's just an imagination and it's not the truth. Okay, so then they identifies that there was a bedsheet color that was not matching, so they went and found the real bedsheet into the garbage, and now they are about like forensics and some research for weird conversation. He told that in the meantime, when they were drinking, he got out alone just to buy some more alcohol, and in that time slot, detective is trying to think that maybe in that time slot something happened. Here is the footage he checked, and there are 4 men, disgusting, filthy men, and they just went in, and when they got out of that building, they have 1 extra S lines into their head. Like, that is crazy. That is so dark. Here Hyun-woo also discovers that 4 of the S lines are connected to the same girl of the 4 different boys, and disgusting. I have no words. I have 0 words. This is just a story. These are just characters, okay? Yep, it's bad, but this is just a story. They capture one of these stupid men, and they're like, we are gonna investigate him because he seemed like he would tell everything out and he would be a good witness in the courtroom. And now, through some words, trickery and things like that, the detective also identifies that he is also lying, and it was all his stupid plan because everybody in the group agreed that it was Han-Hyu's plan. He didn't do it, but all of this was his plan, and he just, was a witness to everything, and he was just the planner, plotter, ringmaster to this case. Oh my god. And now another footage of the classroom teacher taking the father of the detective from hospital into her car and staring into the soul of the camera like, girl, you are suspicious. And he just ran to Sunha in the hospital because he was worried, and he saw the S line bending. I cannot even believe, guys, this is so traumatic. Oh my god. And here is his father coming from the door, and the S line got connected to him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for this. Like, I didn't know it was gonna come up in the story, and yeah, I'm sorry. That's just super dark. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. I have nothing left to say, guys. At the end of the day, it's a story. Let's be reminded of that, and do not let it get too hard too much, because that's not good. And now the cliffhanger of episode 5 was Hyun-Hyu calling him for help, drenched in blood. Okay, now the last episode starts with the teacher giving these glasses to someone in help, and yeah. Okay, so now it was her birthday, and she was with the guy in their friend group, and this is what happened. And he just goes to buy something to eat for her birthday, maybe a cake, maybe something nice, and what happened? The show wants to give us trauma. Like, I cannot believe we have had consecutive 3 trauma things happening together. He died. I don't know how, I don't know what, but yeah. And now the detective with his trauma and Hyun-Hyu with her trauma are sitting in a car and just discussing, and she's telling him everything, like her birthday messages every time she got, and there is something about her that keeps bothering her, that there is something more to her, and there was someone who has planned all of this, who has planned the victims, the murderers, the changes in personalities, and what went when was pre-decided by someone else. Now they investigate and they go into the school as they got some clue from it, and now the girl from the trio is robed. I think this is also a part of the plan, and they just goes downstairs and they just keep coming back to the same floor. So now we are getting into the sci-fi part of it, that it's not real, it's just a crazy world that director has thought and put it into screens. And now I think it's pretty clear that she is really suspicious, because she just gives people a weird hope. Like, by taking on to the specs, you would not want to die, because the people she gave specs to were the people who were not wanting to live anymore. And it gives people perspective that they should not die, but they should kill people. Like, that's how it turned out to be in every case. Now the psychopathic part of it. We have seen examples of people who wish to have these lines with a specific person and they would go to any lengths to have these lines with them. The other psychopathic part of it, if someone gets into the addiction of erasing these S lines, they goes to a length of killing those people they have had those lines with. Like, that was the duality I think they explored, and that was psychopathic because they get erased and you get addicted to the eraser of those lines by killing real human beings. I mean, wow. And now the other friend in the trio has also got the glasses and she experiences a split personality shift. Like, her personality becomes so cold, so like this very obnoxious and very weird, and the most intense revelation of the all time. Like, she was the master of S lines. She had the most S lines in the world and she was the owner of them. That's why she made those glasses, so that she can choose and pick people who she wants the S line to be seen to. And why people cannot see her S lines? Because she kills every person she has had that S line with. Wow. I don't know. It's dark. And now she asks the detective to kill his father because of what he did to Sona. And yep, she doesn't let him kill the father. She herself kills him. So yeah, she's crazy. And yeah, she was the master of it all. And she now meets Sona and she tries to kill her, and she doesn't get killed because she also has some bigger motive in this world to do. And yeah, she makes it seem like it's a blessing to have this, because when other people finds out that there is some kind of lines they can see, they get addicted to it and they want to see it and they desire to have this kind of power which Sona has since she was born. So yeah, it's a devil's perspective, I think. And her mom was also able to see the S lines through the specs that was offered to her, and she found out that her husband was having an affair with her sister. So yeah, that was their trauma, and it was not Sona's fault. She told him, and she found her mother in these bunch of group of people that this witch has captured. She's been stabbed, she's been shot, but nothing has worked, and she can't just get killed. And it was just very supernaturally kind of a vibe where, yeah, these S lines were the origination of universe, and they were just everything the universe compiled of, and human beings are just tied to that. That was symbolic. And Sona gathers some courage and stabs this witch, stabs the character who has caused so many ruckus and so many problems in people's lives. Now they get back to this real world and everybody can see S lines. Yeah, that's the end of it. Every human being is able to see all the red lines of people, and that's how Sona's insecurity ends, because she always wanted a normal human life which she couldn't have. And she always felt different and felt like it was her problem to see S lines. But now when everybody else, like everyone in the world can see those S lines, her dream is fulfilled, because this was everything she wanted. Sona is reborn with no S lines, and she is just, I'm happy for her after everything she got through. And yeah, they are all living normal life. Sona, Hyunyu, and everybody. Our girl is now on her own again, and she just visited his friend to give him flowers. And this is the way the show ended. I don't get it. But yeah, probably there is a part 2, so wait for it. So honest thought, it was a pretty dark show, yes, and I hope you could have enjoyed this whole, like, I don't know, storyline through this video. Thank you. Bye bye. And yeah.